or they have a different picture or image in their mind about what a masjid is like or what it should be. We hope that the efforts that we put here in Tarbiyah are where the youth would want to be, inshallah. So if you feel that that's the case, if it's for you, then it's likely the same for others. So please do so. Invite somebody, bring them. So we had 100 people at the last youth camp. I'm expecting to see 200 at this one. So let's make that number happen, guys. You know who you are, each and every one of you. Call your friends, the brothers here in the front row. Make sure you bring at least one person each, and we'll have an amazing night together, inshallah. Our summer camp for the youth is going to be starting, inshallah, June 13th. It is Summer of Himma, Resilience in the Life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Please sign your kids up. Registration is open on the website. This is for grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Our youth camp, Camp Furqan, has already seen some registrations. MashaAllah, if you're in middle school, high school, or college, this is your opportunity to get away from your parents. As parents, it's an opportunity for you to get rid of your kids. For 6 days, inshallah, we're going to have 100 people at the campsite, 20 mentors, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a life-changing opportunity for some of these youth. So we expect each and every one of you to take advantage of that. If you're in the Nizami program, there's a special rate for you. There's an early bird promotion right now for everyone, but after a certain date, the price is going to default back to the original, which is $375. It's $315 for Nizami, $325 for the early bird. So this is an all-inclusive trip. It includes food, meals, everything, you name it. So this is definitely, inshallah, once in a lifetime opportunity for your kids. At least for this year, they're not going to have a chance to do something like this again. And so I urge you all to take advantage of that, inshallah. That's all I have for you tonight. Again, the restrooms are through the hall here to the left. We've been seeing, some, alhamdulillah, responsibility from the community as far as the water bottles go, but we still do find a couple here and there. So the other option that you can do is you can bring a canteen from home. We do have a gym-style water fountain, with a sensor in the hallway. So you always can bring your own water bottle, and that way, we reduce our carbon footprint a little bit, and you can, utilize the water that we have in the building here. We do have some bottles that we'll still keep out, inshallah, but if you feel like you want to be a little bit more responsible, you can always bring your own water bottle or reuse one, and you can refill it throughout the night, inshallah. As far as parking goes, we've been becoming a little bit more strict with the Pasco parking lot. We do not want to lose that privilege and ruin the relationship that we have with them. So, Jazakallah khair for those of you that have been moving your cars and taking that extra steps. We really appreciate you, and this is signs of a healthy, mature community, and we appreciate you all for that. One other thing, though, I'd like to comment is please make sure that you're driving carefully through the parking lots. I had 2 complaints that people almost got run over because the drivers were not paying attention and they're driving too fast in the parking lot. So let's keep that in mind. It's Allah's house when we get here, it's Allah's house when we leave as well. And let's exercise that adab all the time, not just here at the masjid, but also in our lives. Allahumma ameen.
Wa alaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we have a couple dua requests before we start. This person wants us to pray for their grandfather who has cancer, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure their cancer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen them and make them healthier than they were before, inshallah. Ameen. Next dua request is please make dua for our daughter and our kids to be blessed with iman and love for Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase their love for Islam, make their love for Islam so strong that even you become jealous of it, inshallah. Next one says, Ya Allah, please pray for my grandmother so she can come to the United States. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help her grandmother come to the United States, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them so that the entire family is reunited. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Next one is, please pray for me to understand the Quran and hifz the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you to memorize the Quran and make it easy for you to understand it and easy for you to be able to teach it to others, inshallah, so that you may pass on the knowledge. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Musa alayhi salam, when he was traveling from Madian to the land of Egypt, as he was traveling, it wasn't like today. So there was no roads, there was no nothing. He just went into the desert and he goes towards the direction of Egypt. But as you go in a desert and you just see a bunch of mountains and hills, Musa alayhi salam eventually got lost. It's just a bunch of hills. He looks in every direction, it's all a bunch of hills. After a while, he sees a fire in the distance. So immediately he tells his wife and children, like, wait, inshallah, I am going to go toward this fire, and I'm going to go and see if I can get some news, some direction towards Egypt, or maybe I can bring a burning bush back, so we have some warmth, we have some direction. As Musa alayhi salam approaches this bush, he sees the bush burning, but there's nobody around it. So Musa alayhi salam becomes perplexed. And then he hears from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Inni ana rabbuka fakhna' la alayk, innaka bil wadi al muqaddasi tuwa. Indeed, I am your Lord, remove your shoes, for you're in a sacred valley. So Musa alayhi salam hears this, he's perplexed, but he immediately obeys, he removes his shoes. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we know the full story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives Musa alayhi salam this impossible task, or what seems like an impossible task. He tells him, you have to go to Fir'aun, you have to tell Fir'aun, free all the children of Israel, all your slaves, just free them and let them go, and to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Musa alayhi salam, remember, this is Musa alayhi salam that left Egypt a decade ago because he was wanted for accidentally killing someone. He's a wanted murderer in Egypt. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him, I have chosen you to go to Egypt and go and ask Fir'aun to free the slaves. So Musa alayhi salam, he knows this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can't refuse. But he knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not place a burden on someone more than they can bear. But this seems like an impossible task, to go up to the king that wants you dead and ask him to free the slaves. So what does Musa alayhi salam do in response? He makes a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, Rabbi shrah li sadri. Oh Allah, expand my chest. وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي. And make easy for me this order. وَاحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. And help me with my speech impediment so that everyone can understand these words. This dua is one of the most beautiful duas, and personally, my favorite dua in the Quran actually. Which is why every time I begin a khatira, if you notice, I say Rabbi shrah li sadri right after the beginning. Whenever I do khutbah, I add this dua. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this dua to Musa alayhi salam. And why do we need to ask this dua? This dua can be applied in every single aspect of our life. For example, when we're trying to make dua, we say Rabbi shrah li sadri, because we can make dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many times we make dua to Allah, we ask for something, but we realize later on what we're asking for was actually a bad idea. So we ask Allah, Rabbi shrah li sadri, oh Allah, expand my chest, expand my understanding so that I know what to ask you. Because there's a difference between asking dua and knowing what to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give it to you. We see this dua, we can apply it again in our relationship with our family. We have, when we're trying to talk to our children, we're trying to talk to our parents, we want to ask our parents something. But we want to know the right way to ask them. Because we can ask something, but be delivering in such a wrong way that even though what we're asking is right, the person does not understand it. So we say, oh Allah, Rabbi shrah li sadri, expand my chest, expand my understanding of this. Expand it in such a way that I actually deliver it correctly. Because the task that Musa alayhi salam had was a very complicated task. It wasn't an easy task. Without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helping him being eloquent and saying it in the right way, this can turn into a task where Musa alayhi salam gets thrown in jail. It can turn into a place where Musa alayhi salam just gets his request rejected and nothing happens. So we ask Allah to Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani, to make this our words clear. Because without the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our words are going to be confused. We might say the wrong thing. The same message that we want to get across, that we think is such a good idea in our heads, we conceptualize it beautifully, we're not able to articulate it properly, or the person is not able to receive it properly. It is only with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that these things are done clearly. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this dua easy for us to say. So everyone repeat after me. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli.